Hey, Molly. Good on you for the second take. I'm sure you'll eventually decide it was the right decision. Well, I mean, now Paul can just stop recording and Heather can start working right away.
Yeah.
And then by the time we're done the after show part, it'll be basically ready to upload. So there we go. So it's ready. So I can do the traditional texting of the Heather, or you can just go and
I'll just tell her. Yeah, sorry, I have to leave. Not that you all aren't wonderful people and I want to discuss these things. Pokemon Go Fest. Don't buy tickets to that. What a crock. Give them 1 year to see if they can do it right. They did do some other stuff well, but I'm going to go work on D&D stuff.
Okay, bye.
Wait, can you mute my microphones before I unplug myself, Paul? I'm free!
Dang. Didn't quite clear shot. All right.
Now that I'm not wearing a microphone, I'm a ghost and no one can hear my controversial opinions, like, I don't like the National. Ha ha!
That didn't sound I think she means the band, but for some reason the first thing I thought of was CBC's national news program, nightly news program.
Ian Hannah-Mansing is a gem!
Okay, so it wasn't the news program.
Oh, I thought she meant the news program too.
No.
And I was shocked.
Mm-hmm. Shocked and appalled.
Shocked and appalled.
Well, you're often appalled.
It's true.
Not always, though.
Not always.
It's a neat trick. Odds on the Go Fest being a crap fest, 99.98%. Well, I mean, to be fair, Pokemon Go Fest was merely a dismal failure. It was no fire festival.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the first story. It's also just full of Pokemon puns, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
So good for Kathleen. I don't know why they are calling Bit Trip Runner 3 just Runner 3, because I feel like the Bit Trip is the part that people remember.
Yeah, like Runner is a very generic name.
Yeah.
And it's like Runner 3 with no space to make it more like computery, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It seems like a neat game.
Damning with faint praise.
I'm not in.
That's I don't know. Jamie, be good. It's a good joke, but I can't imagine that DashCon was anywhere near as bad as Fire Festival.
Yeah, I think
DashCon was just sad.
If DashCon had the ambition of DashCon, there's a limit to how bad it could have been, just because it wasn't that like. It was just in a hotel. Like if DashCon had been
in Bermuda or something,
on an island somewhere where everyone was stuck, that would have been very bad.
Yeah.
It's that thing where it's like you can't be the. It's like why Delgo is the lowest grossing, like the lowest performing movie of all time. Yeah. Delgo. It's a CG movie. But the thing is, like, there are lots of movies that are worse.
Yeah.
But the reason why Delgo it has such poor things.
Didn't it open in like one theater?
No, that's the thing. Is it opened nationwide?
Oh.
And made approximately $15 per theater that it was in, or something stupid like that. Ooh. On opening day. But that's the thing. Like, you have to have a certain amount of ambition in order to fail a certain amount. Like,
yeah. So what was with the bees? We had bees. We mentioned them during Loading Ready Live, and it wasn't a joke. And I tweeted this morning about there's a man in our bathroom with a vacuum and a protective suit, and people were like, "What are you filming?" Or like, "What did Beej do?" Or like, who dropped a Category 5 dooker? And it was like, no, it's literally we've been, for the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks, we've been having progressively greater numbers of bumblebees. Big friendly bumbles. Though James got stung once, but that must be his fault.
Yeah, he provoked them.
Just stumbling into the moon base, apparently through like the HVAC system, the vents or whatever. And we're like, what the hell's going on? And so we've been trying to get a hold of the HVAC company, haven't been able to. It's turned into a whole thing. And then we were like, wait a minute, if they're all coming in through the bathroom, that's actually the fan. That's a closed system from the air conditioning. Mm-hmm. So then we, if it had been wasps, we would not have been so chill about it.
Yeah.
So I called a bee man. He had a swarm hotline, so I gave him a call. His thing was like, if it's an easily accessible swarm, he'll come and take it away for free. Particularly for honeybees, because honeybees are super important. He's got like apiarists, students who like need colonies, and so if it's like, you know, help, it's on my car or my tree or whatever, if a swarm is swarming,
right,
and you can just go to it, he'll come and just like sort of gather them into a box and take them away, because once you get the queen in, the rest of the swarm will be like
right,
and just go. This was a little more involved. Turns out it wasn't actually in, because the bathroom is right by the back wall of the building, and the vent just goes like that. They weren't in there. There was a hole, and they were in they'd made a wonderful nest in the insulation. And I was like, hey, so, you know,
this is probably super comfy.
Probably good for them.
A bee, yeah.
But these bumblebees, I was like, so what, you know, how big of a colony do these bees usually get? And he's like, oh, you know, like 30 or 40, maybe like 50 at a high end. Apparently there was like, almost 100 probably at an estimate individuals in this colony. So it was huge, and it obviously been there for a while. The reason they were just coming in here now is because the weather's getting warmer, and they're on this west-facing wall, and they're right in the wall, and basically they were getting like cooked. Like it was just heating up so much that they'd get little bee heat stroke and like stumble their asses through the ceiling. And then, which is why they always acted drunk when they came out here. They'd like biff into the ground and like stumble around. And we tried our best to like take them outside and stuff, but you know there were some losses, which is a shame. But yeah, he was able to get. This was not easily accessible, so we did have to pay him, but it was worth it. He
was able to.
We filmed. I filmed some of it, or at least I put a camera in the bathroom while he was doing it.
So there'll probably be some amount of loading
something
time.
in loading time. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it.
But yeah, and he was able to take the majority of the hive and the queen away and stuff. So
yeah,
they will go off to a farm up island.
Except actually,
yeah.
He was like poking around because he was like, yeah, like. He's like, I mean, basically, if it's up in the venting, I probably can't get it, but at least I can like block it off with some mesh so it'll stop coming down your way, and then, you know, in the fall, like by the time the fall rolls around, they will have left. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's trying to take the thing down. He's like, oh, the commercial ones are different. Hang on, let me just poke my head up into the ceiling. So he takes down one of the ceiling tiles, climbs up his stepladder, and is like, oh. Gets down, closes the door to the bathroom, and is like, I'm going to go get my suit. And I was like, well, huh? And yeah, so then he came back with his plywood box, his clearly homemade plywood box, and the, what did he call it? High volume, low power dustbuster, essentially, to just be like, it's just full of bees. So. Bumblebees are super cute. These were different than the ones I've seen before. Normally in Victoria we run into, I've learned so much. Let me share it with you. We have 3 different varieties of bumblebee in Victoria. The one I'm used to seeing the most are the largely solitary ones, or at least the very small colonies, the very large ovoid.
And quite furry.
Yeah, quite furry black and yellow ones. And these ones were large, a little more traditionally bee-shaped, like still large and furry, but their abdomens did come to a point, whereas like not a hornet point, but more of a point, and they were black with a sort of a dark orange
they're
fuzz.
Easy to mistake for flies, really. When we first saw, I thought it was just like a big fly when I first saw it.
I mean, it'd have to be a pretty big housefly, but yeah, potentially. He referred to the coloring as a rusty bottom, and these are apparently, of the 3 varieties of bumblebees that you can get in Victoria, the most tenacious, aka the most likely to sting.
Tenacious bee?
Tenacious bees, exactly.
Anyway, so they're gone now, so yay.
Yay.
And they are all happy. Well, I don't know, I can't speak to their mental state, but they're going off to
I'm going to get the suit is a phrase you never want to hear from your bee guy, dentist, or doctor. Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty. So what else we got going on in terms of stories?
Right. So there's people have been calling. People have been jokingly referring to Fortnite as fork knife. I don't know why. It's funny. So there's that. Yeah, the crater finally landed. Tilted Towers remains unscathed.
Yeah, we've sort of tracked this loosely anyway over a couple episodes of Checkpoint, and I've read a couple things from people who are big Fortnite players that this is actually a really well done event in terms of like it was very. What they actually ended up doing was quite surprising and dramatic, and like it was a lot of fun to be playing at the doing the thing. And so they made there's like a big crater now, and at the bottom of the crater there's crystals that make you float and all sorts of fancy things.
Buckminst? No, those are the ones I'm more used to seeing. We get ones that look like that in Victoria as well, but these looked different. They have much more of an orange abdomen. They don't have the yellow. They don't have they're black up front where the yellow was on those. Sorry, Buckminst was linking to. I love, by the way, the bumblebee. Is it genus? Kingdom, family, class, order, family, genus, species. I guess genus is Bombus. It's really cool. Hey, also speaking of fork knife, Thanos is in it, or kind of, in that you can become the Thanos. You can. It's a cross promotion between apparently the Russos who did Infinity War. Are big fans of Fortnite. They're like they take a break from editing and just like jam out games of Fortnite to cool off. And so there's a cross promotion between Fortnite and the Avengers, and it's basically you can find the Infinity Gauntlet. This is no spoilers, but you can find the Infinity Gauntlet on the map, and then you pick it up and you become Thanos. I don't know how that works.
Which I'm pretty sure is kind of backwards from the movie in terms of. You get the Infinity Gauntlet and become Thanos instead of Thanos wanting to get the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
I love the idea that somehow this is a spoiler for the movie. That somehow the game Fortnite has a reference to in the movie.
That would be funny, yeah. And then the Game Vice. So Game Vice. I went to their booth at TwitchCon, and the Game Vice itself seemed really cool. Like, it was a neat device, but it was, it was like this sort of collapsible thing, and you sort of like unfold it and then like clip it onto an iPad or an iPhone or whatever, and then if the game has interface with it, then you can use it sort of like a Switch, and it looked cool and everything. But it's like, it's not the same. And now, the product not being the same as the Switch is actually totally irrelevant to the lawsuit. This is what I'm talking about with like looking for gray areas in legal things and actually reading the actual text of it rather than just like these people are suing the Switch, and it's like, sure, I guess they look the same but they're nothing alike, but that's not actually what it is. It's that they have this patent that their patent filing lists all these different things, and the lawsuit that they have said alleges this thing is this in the Switch, and this thing is this in the Switch, and this thing is this in the Switch. So they're making the case that the Switch has all of the components of their patent. I think from reading it, I think it will be very easy for Nintendo to say, no, that fucking isn't. But that's what it is. Just so that you're clear that it's not like, this looks the same, and so we're suing Nintendo.
Yeah.
So you got to be pretty sure of yourself before you sue Nintendo.
It's one of those funny things where like Nintendo is sort of they sort of simultaneously come under fire, but at least being sued for the idea that they are copying this other thing, and then also are criticized that like the Switch is like, so it's just basically a Wii U, but like you can take off the side bits.
Yeah.
But just the idea that it's like you're simultaneously not being different enough from what you're already making, and also copying somebody else. And it's like, well, you can't really win.
It's so weird too, because basically they're sort of saying that like their thing has their patent is like that they have the controllers, and the controllers have, I can't remember the exact words they use, but it's like a connector piece, and then a way for the two controllers to communicate. And they're like, here's the controller. The connector piece is the bit on the side of the Switch screen that you click it into. And they're like, see, that's the connector piece.
Right.
You know, because the patent doesn't say that, like on the Game Vice, the connector piece is on the paddle or like on the controller part. That's not specified in the patent. So they're just saying, here's the controller and there's the connector piece. They have both components, so it's our patent. Is basically sort of the tenor of the whole thing. And this is interesting because they're saying that Nintendo did this knowingly in infringement of Game Vice's patent. And the way that they're wording this is in information and belief, Nintendo did this intentionally. And what information and belief is based on the information we have and our beliefs. Is literally what that means. Right. It's like, we think this is true. So it's on information and belief, Discovery will show, Discovery being once they research it, that Nintendo absolutely knew this. And their claim is because they're like, Nintendo must have known about this patent because in their patent for the Switch, they like in their trademarks for the Switch, they referenced this patent, and this patent was an evolution of our patent. So therefore, they must have known about it. And again, it's totally feasible for Nintendo to be like, we had no clue. But the law.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows? Considering that there, I believe, like, at any given time during the run of, like, the Wii, there was at least one or two ongoing, like, patent lawsuits against them for, like, the Wii controller motion tech. That, like, there was at least, like, 2 or 3 companies that kept hitting them on that. Yeah. And, like, kept appealing it over and over again and stuff. So I don't think it's anything new for Nintendo to be dealing with.
Yeah. The Amaze... Amaze, 2 different words, but all caps. That's how their branding is. 2018 gaming sort of convention-y thing in Berlin happened last week, and they have their honors, where they have their sort of awards, where they award they give awards to 6 outstanding games in different categories. And what was notable this year was that the most amazing game this year went...
It's a solid award.
Yeah. Went to Attentat 1942, which is a game made by Czech students and researchers in a Czech educational games project to teach players about what happened during the Nazi occupation of Czechoslovakia during World War II. Meaning that this convention...
You might have guessed what the problem is.
Yeah. So the game that won the most amazing game award at a convention in Berlin cannot be bought or sold in Berlin.
Yeah.
Because Nazi imagery.
Because you can't show Nazi imagery in Germany, even if it's in a historical context, even though it's in like a negative context, obviously, in this case.
Yeah.
So apparently they're like working with the organizers and stuff to see if there's some way they can, because this is and like this isn't like Wolfenstein where you can be like, we'll just change the swastikas to, you know, a cross.
Yeah. To the Castle Wolfenstein logo. It's like, no, these are actual.
This is actually supposed to be like a historical research thing almost.
Yeah. So if you're interested, so the most amazing game was Attentat 42, or 1942. The Collider Award, which was a MASH Everything Award for interdisciplinary productions which mix with everything from science to performance art to weird offbeat controllers, went to Fountain, which I have vaguely heard of. The Digital Moment Award for expressions of socio-critical messages, personal or comedic life situations, or feelings through an interactive medium, went to Genital Jousting.
I forget who I saw somebody doing a Let's Play of that.
Yeah.
It was very silly, as you might guess.
The Long Feature Award for Complex Games and Developing Virtual Reality Worlds went to the Norwood Suite. The Human Machine Award, which was for it's for multiplayer co-op games, went to Tuned Out, and the Audience Award went to Wobble Garden.
Wobble Garden.
Which I have not heard.
Which is, I have no idea what it is, but it's fun to say. So there was a Fortnite big thing. Obviously, like the story about the Infinity War.
I guess I didn't tweet the checkpoint tweet.
Oh,
Whoops.
whoops.
Well, I'll just save that as a draft and tweet it next week. It was sitting right in my thing.
Where's Spoopifer when you need him?
Yeah, that's so weird. I'm sorry.
But the thing with the Infinity War, it's like at this point it's literally like the most, the biggest movie playing right now and the biggest video game being played right now. Joining forces. And so there's a lot of Fortnite news, but my favorite thing is we talked, I think it was last week about, or maybe it was the week before, but there's the thing where this big meteor was coming down and everybody assumed it was going to hit Tilting Towers, which is an area in Fortnite. And so in anticipation of that, for whatever reason, a whole bunch of people decided to get together and destroy everything in Tilting Towers. Yeah. Maybe to get like a little preview of what it would look like. Because one of Fortnite's big things is destructible buildings. So they did that, and it was cool. So now that the thing has landed, it turned out to be landing somewhere else, the Dusty Divot.
Or it was the
Dusty something else. Anyway.
That's now the Divot.
So
Dusty Depot.
Dusty Depot is now the Dusty Divot. And so in true to form, now that there's a giant crater there, people decided to all get together and fill it.
Yeah, they paved it over.
They paved it over with just all sorts of different building materials. Apparently, it was a lot harder, which is I think is a good illustration of how creation is more difficult than destruction.
Yeah.
Because they were like all got together and were like building stuff, but then like somebody would like come along with a rocket launcher and just destroy everything. But they did it. They paved over the entire crater.
There's a new. That's how you spell Wobble Garden. I don't know. I've never heard of it myself, but there we go. This is actually the last thing that's I think unique on this list, and I'm trying to load it. But I can talk about it a bit. Twitch so there's a new partner feature in Twitch that is currently in beta. It's currently invite only beta and only for US partners currently. So we can't really speak to it a lot because we haven't really seen a lot about it, but it's sort of like it's like a bounty board system for sponsored streams. Where basically it seems, I can't load Gamma Sutra right now, but it seems like the system is basically that companies who want streamers to promote their stuff can sort of be like, can go directly through Twitch and be like, hey, we have this much, what's the word I'm looking
budget?
for? I guess budget, yeah, like we have this much budget. And streamers can sign up to be like, yeah, I'll do an hour of this thing, and there's like a system in the Twitch backend to be like, if I say that yes, we will stream an hour of this as a sponsored stream, then we will get X dollars for it. Just like a really streamlined sort of system for it. Which, speaking as streamers, sounds like it could be great. But I haven't really had an opportunity to look into it.
Obviously, from a mercenary standpoint, of course, it also, in the same way as like bits, when they implemented bits, it's one of those things that's good for stream. It seems like it would be good for streamers. Also, obviously, good for Twitch because now they become the middleman as opposed to somebody else being the middleman, right?
Yeah, same thing they did with bits.
Which, that's a good idea, and bits has been a very successful thing. So. Yeah, this seems like it could be, like if it actually gains widespread usage, that could actually be super fun. Like the idea of just being able to say like, hey, I want to stream something. Oh, hey, there's a game that looks like could be interesting. Boom, I'll do that, and earn a little bit extra over what you would normally just earn from ads or whatever.
Species beta. I don't know. So they were asking, does it require you to be positive of the game, or can you use this? Can you use the system for critique as well? I don't know. Presumably, it would be case by case that there would be there would be requirements.
The current ones that are up do have requirements to at least not like badmouth the game. In the same way, like a sponsored stream would, and to also use like the hashtag sponsor.
Well, yeah, you have to do that.
But yeah, it does say that they don't want you to disparage the game, which I think is legitimate. Yeah. Especially since you're
do not disparage the brand and hit certain audience numbers. Yeah. No, Rocario, I don't think that they get to decide after the fact if they pay you or not. That seems bad, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend on, obviously it's going to depend on how it implements. Like at the moment, it's in beta, and like a bunch of the sort of bounties that have been posted by like Twitch themselves. Yeah, because they're still testing the system and stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Is there a difference between disparaging and criticizing?
I don't know.
I mean, like we've done sponsored streams where I've been critical of things that. Like we did that beta for, it got canceled. Not our fault. It was the like basketball MOBA.
Yeah.
For Amazon Game Studios, and it was like, I don't know if I like this thing. Like this thing doesn't seem as good. But there's a difference between like they just don't want someone sitting there being like, boy, is this ever crap. But they're paying me to play it, so fuck them.
It's like you can
be negative about a thing that you're being paid to play. It's just a level of professionalism.
And and you can be, I would say that you can be, critical of a game without dumping all over it. Whether that qualifies for this particular thing, I don't know. That's going to have to be. I'm kind of felt out as it goes. That's presumably a large portion of why they're doing a beta test of it. To see how much of a problem that is.
Yeah, no, Rocario, that's not how it works. I don't know the exact flow, but it's not like that. Like nobody would do that for one thing. No streamer would be like, yeah, I'll stream sponsored game for an hour and then maybe they'll pay me if they feel like it. That would never work. But that's also not how it's working. So.
Anyway, let's. I believe that's all of the news that was fit to talk about.
Yes, unfortunately, that was indeed.
There's some news that was not fit to talk about.
We don't talk about that news. We're not referencing anything in particular. We're just. There was a bunch of information about the Warmind expansion, the new Destiny expansion that comes out tomorrow that Cameron will be playing on New Day Tuesday, but I haven't had time to dig into it. So, I'll be playing it because I bought the season pass. So I mean, I get the expansion anyway, but I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. Been very busy of late. So anyway.
All right. Well, let's welcome some subs.
Let's do it. Oh, I can see. Oh my God, it's Paul.
No, I was here.
Wait. I
was here before. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching and helping us out. But in particular, thanks to these people who have subscribed during this stream. Starting with... so close. Why does it... Wait.
Hey, Miniwhack with a 35-month resub. Not caught Checkpoint live in weeks. Glad to do so now. Can't believe it's nearly been 3 years. Where does the time go? Into space.
Agent Magic Master for 52 months. Resub for Action Dab.
Mjolnir with an 11-month resub. Welcome back.
Angry Tramp is a new subscriber. Brr.
Arconic Energy, 20-month resub. Check those points. My continued thanks for all that you do. Well, thank you for being here.
The other Trevor for 20 months. Dap.
Little subtle one. Inkslayer, 25-month resub. 25 months, that's a number. Wow.
Fuzzy Fuzzy for 6 months. Half euro ready? Yes. Let's try some of these new emotes. Chicken wow.
Chicken wow. Did my mic die? They said my mic died.
I...
Damp Rice with a 40-month resub. Resub in the name of Too Many Bees. Smiling Warlock with an 11-month resub.
Zach Amethyst is a new subscriber. Amethyst.
Gamerwife 1206 with a 19-month resub.
Mirnus for 53 months. A show so nice you did it thrice. Encore?
Apparently my mic's okay now. Joranus with a 17-month resub. Almost forgot about the button.
Argyle Janner for 3 months. Hey, lurkalists. Hi, chat.
Jeezy 56 with a 13-month resub. Subscribe B Facts.
Dusk Shine for 53 months. All right, F it. The subs must flow.
Harvester 369 with a 20-month resub. Welcome back.
Nope, it broke again. There it cuts out again. Apparently we have a loose cable. Hot Pull Studios for 15 months. I give you money and you provide me with the smiles. Long shall this transaction continue. 15 months and counting.
Sniper Pumpkin with a 30-month resub. 30 months of secretly hiding bees in the ceiling. What will we do for the next 30 months? Hey!
Steel Wolf 171 for 23 months.
Icewind Bilbo with a 15-month resub. 15 months, that's nearly a year.
Detrodano for 24 months. 2 years. Feels like a long time. I'm Cullingworth.
A Trophonian with a 28-month resub. Welcome back.
Things on my stream for 13 months. Gifted by W. Nevek. Wait a minute, that's me.
Far too much sarcasm with a 26-month resub. Welcome back.
And thanks for the 471 bits from Foxmar320, Earthen1, W. Nevek, Rock Pusher, and Crazy Matt Captain. Yeah, sorry about the mic cutting out there. It's clearly there's some sort of silliness happening.
I'm sorry too, though I don't know what I could be doing differently.
Try to stop doing whatever you're doing and start doing whatever you did to make it work.
Stop touching it.
Anyway, that is our show for the checking of points.
Come back for Dice Friends tonight. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, in 2 hours. Dice Friends is going to be happening, and it's going to be a brand new campaign. Kathleen's going to be running it, and it's sure to be very silly. That's at 5 o'clock PDT, Pacific Daylight Time. And then, yeah, as we mentioned, tomorrow at noon, is going to be Destiny. The new Destiny.
The Warmind expansion.
The Warmind expansion, which Cam is going to be playing, and he seemed to have kind of the same feeling about it as you did, in the sense that it being like, I'm going to play this because I bought it already. And I hope it's good.
I truly hope it improves a bunch of the problems people have with Destiny 2. I want to play and enjoy Destiny 2. Also, then one more, and then Talking Simulator, where they are going to be playing where the water tastes like wine. That's tomorrow.
They're just going to be getting drunk.
Yeah.
All right. We will see all y'all later. Bye.